Hello everyone, it's Jennifer and thank you for joining me today. I still have my Artemis Goddess Collection bead mix on the table here because we have a few more items that I want to use. And there's a few items that I know I'm not going to use right now because I have future plans for them, like these large hole beads with these large hole beads. Those are going to involve some silver silk at a later time. However, though, what I do want to use is I want to use these two beads here with this little charm. This little charm is so cute. And what I'm going to do is we are going to bust into my paper clip chain from Jessie James Beads, and we're going to make a quick necklace using the using this paper clip chain. This is going to be the front focal. I've had this in my head for a while of just having, I mean, it could be something just even like that where there's nothing in between. And so that's kind of what I have wanted to do with these two and what the kind of necklace that I've been wanting to make. And we might dive into using these little guys in a necklace that is going to leave several pieces still on the board, including some chain reaction, some little rondelles from me cutting those apart. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take out these items that I'm not going to use, that I know, oh man, I can't wait to use this one. I'm probably going to use this one with this one and have maybe some chain links come down with some of these rondelle or some of these beads. And so what I'll do is I'll disconnect them from here so that I can use them in a tassel and go from there. Neelay Patel from Silver Silk and More has used these large bead caps before and has used his capture chain as the tassels, and so pretty. So we're going to go ahead and use up this capture chain. He uses, we have chain reaction. He has capture chain, which is also too available in jessiejamesbeads.com. All right, so let's go ahead and pull the things that we know we're not going to use. This guy is going to be used in something later, probably with this and these. I see something with those three, which might just end up being like a dangle like this, which is cute too. And we might do that. Maybe we might do that today. So let's go ahead and just keep it out. And I do have a lobster clasp here and just realized that this little tray is probably not enough. Okay. We do have some gold chain reaction also to use, so we might incorporate that with this. Let's go ahead and keep that there. Okay, so now what we want to do is, oh, I'm probably not going to use that or these right now, but I'll use those. Okay, so for the chain reaction, we don't need any chain reaction for this. This is all going to be some Craftwire, some 20 gauge Craftwire from Softflex. And what we'll do is we'll do just a simple loop down at the bottom, and then we'll go ahead and do a wire wrap loop up at the top. Okay, and then we'll connect it to the, maybe we'll connect it directly to the chain. So let me see how long I want this. Again, there's several orders in this one, so this is not one order. All right, so let me check to see how long I want it. I'm going to go ahead and cut this at 18 inches, and here's why. I can always just use a different link to attach to with my lobster clasp. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut that and then push that over to the side. Okay, so then what I want to do is find kind of the middle. So let's see where the middle is, and the middle is right here. And I'm actually just going to use the link in the middle. Even though this might end up being a shorter necklace, I still will go ahead and use this as my little link. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this all nice and straightened out. We're going to go ahead and add our beads, and I'm going to have this little curvy end on the end. And what I'm doing here is I'm just going to work from the spool. So I need to make just a simple loop here. So I want a nice, good flush cut like that. Then let's go ahead and come in with our round nose pliers, and then we will go ahead and I'm going to go about halfway. No, let's go a little bit more. Let's give it a bigger loop because I don't want the beads to sit inside of our little charm. Okay, and then I'm going to go until I go around to the back, and then go ahead and just bend that back. Okay, then let's go ahead and add this. I have all my tools out from the prior video. And let's get this linked on. My other video, it took forever to post. I couldn't believe how long it took. All right. Oh, it doesn't really hang. Oh, well, I guess it would if it's up against your chest. So it will if it's up against your chest. Okay. All right. I was kind of sad there for a moment. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and I am going to come in. Let me go ahead and just cut some off. I'm going to come in, and I'm not going to be at the tippy tip, but I am going to be close to the tip, only because this is 20 gauge wire. It's a little more, it's thicker than the 22 gauge. So the 22 gauge, I will go at the very tippy tip, and then push that to the back, and there we go. Okay, now what I want to do is open it up a little bit. And if you want to, you can attach it to a couple of jump rings too. I'm just going to go directly on there so that there's no, I will not run the risk of, I think that's probably, oh, it's off by 1, so that's okay. All right, so we are going to have it go like this. All right. So now let's go ahead and just pass that through. And since I opened that loop up just a little bit, now I can go ahead and close it, and then just add my chain nose pliers, very tippy tip. And then I just turn it just a little bit. So if you can see, it's just to lock it in place. And then let's go ahead and start our 3 wraps. And if it's not a nice, tight, snug fit, I'm okay with that. It's fine. But I think we're going to get a nice, snug fit. But they still kind of spin. Sometimes with beads, I find that they'll spin no matter what. Okay, trim that off. Not that much of waste. Let's go ahead and add this back in there. Boy, this was a quick little project. My other projects were really long. Okay, so now we have that. It looks a little wonky. So let's just go ahead and straighten things up. And there's the necklace. And so when I put it, when I take a picture, I'll put it on a bust or have it laying down. But that, oh, I love that. And then it'll just, then you have your own kind of little loop. So it's just going to hang like that. And again, the little, since I'm not using it in an earring, it's okay that it's not kind of, oops, sorry. Okay. So now let's go ahead and take jump ring. And I've got some little jump rings. These are little 5mm. They're really tough. But then one of the jump rings I have, they don't close up very well. And I've mentioned that before. And one would think, oh, just remove them from your stash there, but I don't. Yeah, these are really good. Okay, So now let's go ahead and you can link it on. That's what I like about paperclip chain too. And this paperclip chain from Jesse James Beads, I saw they had it in silver, gold, and rose gold. And then they also have the enameled paperclip chain, which I have. Let me show you what I did with one of them. So they have enameled paperclip chain as well. And all I did was just I added a lobster clasp and then one of those links. This is, I believe it's Beadalon that has these links. And so I just attach it to a jump ring. And that was it. I took the link that it came with and just made it into a necklace, and it's really cute. So if I wanted to layer this, I could layer this too. All right. So there is necklace number 1. Very simple, very easy. And it was exactly what I was wanting. I was just wanting something very simple and something that had this, I love this pink. It's kind of like a coral pink with these kind of grayish beads. Just very cute. All right. So, and I'm kind of simple, but then yet I'm all about having something quick and easy, so that especially at this time of the year where you might have unplanned visitors or someone just got a girlfriend and so they decided the girlfriend's coming to Christmas. This is just an easy little project to toss together for a beautiful, beautiful gift. All right, so not that much of scraps, no waste. This piece was making it a flush cut, and this one was after I cut it off. Perfect. All right, so let's do something. We want to do something with that, but I also wanted to do something with this, right? And I can do the same sort of thing. I feel like I had another, yep, I do. So I could kind of, I love tassels. Tassels are my favorite. And I have a tendency just to take them and hoard them away. But the majority of what I do with the tassels is I just put them at the bottom of something like this and go from there. All right, so I did grab this big lobster, not lobster, but toggle clasp. And this came in it's like 12 different pieces of closures. So there's toggles and lobster clasps, and this is from Jesse James Beads, and it was, I believe, a 12-piece assortment. And I love it. I've been working off of it for a really, really long time. And so we're going to go ahead and maybe, no, I don't think I'm going to incorporate this one with it. I think I was going to use this with the large bead cap. So let's go ahead and we're going to put this back so I don't lose it. And then we'll go ahead and make up something here. I do have my paper clip chain still. However, though, I also have some, I think this is Simple Curb, or it's the Mother and Son chain. I got quite a bit of it when JJB had this, and we'll go ahead and use this in, yeah, because it's about the same. It's almost the same shade. But we'll go ahead and make up a long necklace using this. So what I'm going to do is my length is actually going to be able to go over my head, and these links open. And so what I'll do is I'll just close it all off. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. I have a knot. I love knots in chains. Who else loves knots in chains? Now this chain is really easy, but when I get knots in some of my thinner chains, ugh. But I do it. All right, so this is about 28 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up this little link here. Very carefully. I can never get them to close exactly the same, but we will try. Okay, so we're going to open that one up. This is the length. I should probably have done the bigger one. Oh. Let's take that off. Okay. All right. going away. Then what I'm going to do is take the two ends and put them together. How's that? I'm sure this has been done before. I'm not coming up with anything new. That's what happens too. You kind of get to a place where you, other people have done it before. Okay, so there's my over the head. Let me make sure it's good. Oh yeah, it's good. Okay, so now it doesn't matter where I put it. It's going to be okay because it is, there's no center or, let's see. All right. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing. I just found a link and then we are going to, I just love these little pearls down here. So cute. So cute. And we're just going to go ahead and do something like that. And it's just going to be very simple. And maybe I'll find some bead caps. I'm kind of looking around here because I have bead caps, some JJB bead caps. But let's go ahead and just get some wire wrap. Let me get some 20 gauge. I think I have some. I have 22. So I have some 22 gauge Craftwire. So, and I'm okay with using that because what I'll do is instead of doing a simple loop here, I'll go ahead and do a wrap loop. And let's go ahead. So cute. All right, let me see. Let me go see if I can grab, maybe I don't want any sparkle. Maybe I just want it to be simple, but I feel like I want a little bit of a separation. But then again, when I start adding in gold, the golds aren't going to match and it's going to drive me crazy. So let's just go ahead and we can actually do some wrapping with our 22 gauge. Let's go ahead and put these guys on here. We could very easily do that. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to do a wrap loop. I'm going to come down about, I don't know, maybe an inch, inch and a half, and come in about a third of the way up on my round nose pliers and push that to the back. Get that all nice and centered, and I am going to go ahead and just open that up a little bit so that I can get, now yes, this is like a simple loop up here, but if I don't have to open it, I'm not going to open it. I'm already making this loop, so I might as well go ahead and just use that. So we're going to go ahead and wrap around once, twice, and 3 times. So I have a lot of waste here. So if you wanted to use your fingers, you can use your fingers when you're using that much. Okay. So then let's go ahead and give that a little bit of a trim. And then I'm going to wait until I get this all done here. And I want the fronts to be the same. Okay. So my loop is going this way here. We're going to go this way here, and this is the front. And so here we go. And I'm going to go at the tippy tip because I do not want a large loop. And I think what I'm going to do actually is, oh, I am going to wire wrap directly. So let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. And I'm going to go ahead and snip off. And I'm snipping off maybe 4 inches, 4 more inches. Let's go ahead and put that back on there. And come around and push to the back. I'm in a really, really weird angle angle here. All right, and it's really distorted, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and attach that directly on. And it's not opened up. I thought it was opened up a little bit. Well, let's go ahead and just open that up. Just help it out a little bit. You can use your fingers too. And again, it doesn't matter which loop I go on to. I just need to go on to one of these guys. One of the larger ones. I'm just picking one of the larger ones. And there is nothing better than a nice... Now I'm using my fingers because I have this long tail, and I'm not wanting, how do I say it? I'm not rubbing it because I don't want it to get brittle, but I am going to go ahead and start wrapping around. So here's the front. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap around. And kind of make a little bit of, like a little bit of a spacer in between, just like that. Then I'll go ahead and trim this off. So I had about 4 inches, which is probably just about right. I mean, I have a little bit of waist there, but it did allow me just to use my fingers. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get that, make sure that's all nice and tucked in. How's that? Now I don't have another one down here, and that's because I only want these guys to have that little bit of extra in between. Okay, if you want to, you can come down and do more, but I didn't want this to be all, I didn't want it to be bulky down here. So oh, you know what? We need to tuck in this bottom down here. Let's go ahead and do that. And the reason why I wait to do this is because when I don't have a bead up against the tail and I go to tuck it in, it'll end up going out this way or that way. I'm not that good. So, all right, so we have a second necklace. And did you see how easy those were? This would have been 10, 15 minutes for both, and that's it. So we are going to go ahead and leave that there because then we will come back and finish off. So this is going to be a nice little quick and easy tutorial. My other one was, I don't know, was it 45, 50 minutes? So sorry. Okay, we ended up with about that much waist. So we ended up with probably about an inch of waist between the two projects. And there we go. I'll get these photographed up, and then we'll make another pair of earrings. With these, I'm thinking earrings. I don't know. I can always do bracelet. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And then we have our big boho bead that we're still going to use, and we're going to use that with one of these, with some of the chain here. So we have a couple more projects there, and still tons of beads and components left over from this mix. So give this video a huge thumbs up if you like it. Comment. I love to see what everybody has to say, and subscribe. And until next time, have a good one.